Hello.
Good morning. It's New Year's Day.
Happy New Year to all of you. We have gotten up and we wanted to tell you earlier Happy New Year, but you know how it takes a while to get going the older you get. And we had a good night last night. I'll tell you, we stayed up till midnight, which is the first time
In a while.
in a long time, but
We were really partying too.
yeah, we really were. We had, of course, you know, Amy and Sean and Zach and Mason are staying with us now. And Griffin's home from college, and his girlfriend Jenna was here. Amy made a lot of good little party foods, and we played cards, and we played tensies, and had a good time. And then the way we ended
The
it,
highlight of the night.
even Jenna said, "I like this."
We were sitting in the living room with the TV, and Griff was watching or showing some music videos, and the discussion came up about who had the greatest rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem, and of course Griff had one with
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Or Jenna said that.
Yeah, and then the sentiment then went towards the Whitney Houston deal that she did in about 1992 or something like that. So we watched both of those and talked about it, and then we decided we'd just go around the room and let Griffin find the music, and everybody picked a song. Just
And
went around the room.
He cast it up on our TV.
Yeah.
We sure couldn't have done that.
And so we spent probably 2 hours doing that, going around and talking about folks' favorite songs for whatever reason. So it was a lot of fun.
And you know, it was all kinds of music, from oldies to...
Wait a minute. Why don't you point this way?
I just said oldies this way. To one of my favorite songs was CeCe Winans' The Goodness of God. And Jenna was sitting by me and she said, "Oh, she's my favorite too." And she is just one of my favorites. And when it was...
And that's a difference in 50 years of age. At least
yes.
50, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right at 50.
And so when it was time to go, for her to go home, and we were going to end it, she said, "Let's end it on CeCe Winans' The Alabaster Box." And you know, what was so unique is there were times that songs were played and all of us shed some tears.
Yeah.
So we ended our whole year listening to the Alabaster Box and what Jesus did.
And Scout had already ended his night. He was laying there on the couch.
Yeah, he
I don't know
slept.
if you can see him now or not. Here he is, if you can't see him. Look at that, buddy. You're on TV.
But we're blessed. Harold and I are so blessed, and I know you are also. This morning I was getting dressed and I couldn't help but think of an old song that we used to sing in church, "Count Your Many Blessings." And you know, even though we all go through bad times, bad times, if we just count our blessings. And I have read a book, and I'm reading it again, probably for the third time, and it's 1,000 Gifts. I think that's the name of it. And it is on my Amazon page. I've linked that in one of my favorite books. And the author said that each day, every time, she said, I was washing dishes one day and at my sink, and the sun came through and there was a bubble from the dishwashing detergent, and you could see the different colors. And she said, it was like a gift. God, you gave me that to notice. And you know, if we truly believe that everything we have comes from God, it's the little God winks.
Right.
That we have to remember. And I want to be more mindful of that. I don't do New Year's resolutions. Maybe when I was younger, I would think, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds this year. That's going to be my resolution. No. When I had cancer and I was looking each day as, is this my time to go to heaven? I realized that the things I used to think were important were not.
Right.
Harold coached ball for 29 years. And sports was a big part of our life.
And still is.
And still is. But we realized then that in the grand scheme of things, it's not important. We have our teams. We have our high school team. We have our college team. And of course we want to win. But we've realized that that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is to love Jesus with all of our heart. And the second most important thing is to love our neighbor. That's what God says.
Right. But we are going to watch football today.
We are.
And we're going to pull, I'm going to say Roll Tide. Some folks are going to say Hook 'em Horns. Some are going to say Go Big Blue or
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers if you're LSU folks. And that's fine. I still love you and you can still love us. And somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose.
Yeah.
But the sun's going to come up tomorrow.
That's exactly right. But, it is what it is. It's a beautiful day here in Alabama. Beautiful. We've had some cold weather. We just got back from Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
Had a great time. We only stayed 2 nights. But I would have liked to have maybe stayed one more day, but we really needed to get back, and I was blessed to be able to meet one of my followers.
Yeah, at a restaurant one night.
And I think you probably saw her picture, but it blesses me when people recognize us and speak to us. But she and her family were about to leave. It was a pizza place, and she came over and she said, Mama Sue, I knew it was you, and when you came in, she said, I told my daughters, you're not going to believe who just came in, and she said, they said, Jason Aldean?
Yeah, I guess she's a Jason Aldean fan. I don't know.
Yeah, and we laughed about that, but y'all are just our friends.
Yeah.
And you bless us for following us. There's many wonderful cooks out there. And, now that I'm sharing recipes also on this page, you see every part of our life. You see our cooking. Later today,
I was going to say, speaking of cooking, there's nobody in the kitchen right now. And we need some cornbread and greens,
black-eyed peas.
Some peas.
We're going to have them too, but we're going to have them tonight. But Sean, our son-in-law, was hunting this morning. He got up early to go deer hunting. And when he gets home this afternoon, he said, let me cook the collards. He got this recipe at a restaurant that they ate at years ago, and he said, I promise you, you're going to love them. And then Amy is not real fond of just black-eyed peas. I love them. Harold's, that's not his favorite. He's a purple whole pea fan, and me too. But she makes a dish with sausage and black-eyed peas and seasonings. She's going to cook that.
It's not Hoppin' John. Mm-mm. Some of you make Hoppin' John. We have had it before.
But you do eat it with rice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I will video Sean making his collard greens. I'll video Amy making her black-eyed peas and sausage. I'm probably going to do coleslaw. I usually do potato salad, but I did it last week. Yeah. And Harold will do cornbread. So I'll video those and put them up at different days. It won't be today, but these are dishes you can have any time. But we just have a tradition of eating this same thing on New Year's.
And we won't be washing any clothes today. So
No.
if you don't know, just
I'll
tell you
tell
later.
you. I'll
You gonna
tell
do it
you.
now?
I'm gonna tell them. I'm not superstitious, but
But she just doesn't do it.
I don't do it. My mother would, after I got married, she would call me every New Year's Eve and she'd say, "Don't wash clothes on New Year's. There's just an old saying that if you wash clothes, you'll wash somebody out
And
of your
somebody
life."
told Amy that this week. Who?
I told her that.
Yeah, but somebody she met told her. Was it Steve McGinnis?
I don't know. Miss Grace.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's who it
Miss
was.
Grace.
That's who it was. Miss Grace from.
Miss Grace is from Bruton, Alabama. And Miss Grace,
Called you, yes.
she texted
Texted me, okay.
and she said, "Mama Sue, I know we trust in the Lord, but there's just an old saying, don't wash clothes." And I said, "Miss Grace, I know that because my mama did." But Miss Grace followed me when I was so sick, and she would check on me every day.
Yeah.
And I love her. I love y'all.
We've never met her.
But y'all,
We talked to her a lot.
before I get comments, I trust in God. I know it's a superstition, but you know, I don't have to wash my clothes or washed up. But anyway, Harold just said that. But anyway, we love y'all. Please know that by you watching us, we are so blessed. The comments that you say, I can't answer them all. Oh, there's no way I could. But I love reading them. And I wish you would leave me a comment and tell me what you're having
Right.
for New Year's. You know, some of you may not do the black-eyed peas and greens. Some people do cabbage, turnip greens, or collards. That's another
Some people don't do
superstition.
anything special.
Yeah.
They have.
It's-
And it's okay.
It's
However
not.
you celebrate.
It's not going to mean that we're going to have more money if we eat the turnip greens or have I don't even know, the black-eyed peas are for coins. I think that we don't believe that, but it's just a tradition like Thanksgiving. We're going to have turkey and ham and dressing.
I got one thing I want to say. This is 2024, and I got to thinking back on all the 4 years. I can remember 1964, New Year's of 1964. 74, and the one I'm going to mention very quickly, New Year's of 1974, we had been married for 2 years, and we were in Livingston where I was in school, Sue was in school too, and we had an old single-wide trailer that had kerosene heat, and the heat had, before we came home for Christmas, the heat had gone out, and we didn't have the money to get it fixed. So we made it fine, and
we had a small electric heater.
And we both said, don't say anything to your mom or my mom and daddy about the heat being out, because I knew in March of
74.
March of 74, I was getting out of school and we were going to move home. So we figured we could make it, without central heat for the next 2 or 3 months. So we came home for Christmas and New Year's, went back the day before New Year's, went back and we sat down on New Year's Day, 1974, to watch the football games on TV. I don't even remember who was playing, but we always do that. And it was so cold in the trailer, we could see our breath.
That's right. We had an electric blanket that we took off of our bed and brought it into our little living room, and we sat there. Our body was warm, but the room was so cold that particular day. That wasn't like it all the time. And y'all, we made it fine. We had enough money to pay our bills, but none left. I can remember this, and we're going to go. I wasted your time. I worked there I got a job at the university where Harold went to school. And I got paid every 2 weeks. And now remember, it was in 74 and things were a lot cheaper then. But I made enough money that we could pay our bills. And Mother canned and Miss Garrett and we brought a lot of food back with us. But when we paid our bills one time, I said, Harold, we've got $1.68 left to do us for 2 weeks. But we were happy, man, just as happy as we could be. And God blessed us, and He'll do the same for you. But y'all remember to be salt and light. Love others. Love God most. And love others. And I'll be back soon.
Okay. See you later. Bye-bye.